That
A
ain't even.
PlayStation 5 ain't $3,000, motherfucker.
I don't know. Maybe they got something new because last time it's been a few months since I last heard about this one, and I was like, the shit that they wanted you to do with this is not worth $3,000, but it's Apple, so there you go.
Yeah.
You paying for Apple.
This is easily one of Apple's craziest, most radical, possibly dystopian products of all time, and I have a lot of thoughts here. Like, I've been using it for about a week now. There are some parts of this thing that are absolutely incredible, and some other parts that feel weird or borderline unfinished. There are all kinds of new technologies.
So looking at it, it's adorable from right here. It looks cute.
That's kind of cool.
It's cool, but I'll let you finish. Do some
From a new operating system to infrared eye tracking to virtually reconstructed versions of you. I feel like there are so many actually new things that you have to understand in order to get a sense of what this headset actually is and what it does. So I'm going to break this down into two parts. This video is all about using the Vision Pro. It's everything I've learned from the past week of wearing and getting used to this thing every single day. But I'm also working on a more...
If I heard his voice audio and then actually found his video, I'd be like, he does not look how he sounds.
Oh.
And I don't mean that in a racial way. Like,
Five.
Look at Five. It's killing him. Come on, Five. What you got to say?
Was this 2 nights in a row of your racism?
Wide-ranging, possibly more existential review video. But let's just start with the more hardware fundamentals, right? Like, what is this thing that I'm holding? Literally. Apple Vision Pro, at its core, well, it is a VR headset. Now, Apple would never say that, and they probably won't like that I'm saying that word. You know, I made an entire video about why they refuse to use those words, and they're calling it spatial computing instead. We'll get there. But the truth is, it's a really high-end virtual reality headset. It's something we've seen before, right? It's got displays and lenses and speakers and fans and buttons, and this is a form factor. This is a thing that we have seen before. But before I even turn this thing on, there are clearly several things that are a little different about this one. So first of all, it's made of metal. Lots of metal and glass here, which are high quality but heavy materials, relatively speaking. So there's this precisely machined aluminum frame around the outside. And yes, those are intakes for fans at the bottom and then vents for those fans at the top. On the right side, there's your digital crown that can be pressed in or turned. And then on the other side is just a single larger button. So kind of basically the same 2 buttons as an Apple Watch. And then when you get a little further back on this band here, these little pods with downward facing grills, these are speakers, which are pointed straight at your ears and work surprisingly well, though of course it also means that people around you can hear a little bit of what you're hearing. There's a little bit of bleed, and I have a lot to say about spatial audio, so stay tuned for that. But the main event is...
it looks really good. I don't know if it's $3,000 good, but it looks very well machined and put together.
I mean,
the front.
It's Apple. I think it's gonna sell because a lot of people just want Apple. It's like the iPhone and the Apple Watch. Like it'll do what it's supposed to do. It'll do the necessities of what it should do, and then they're gonna overprice it because it's Apple.
Yeah.
So
but I'm just saying. I just wanted to stop the video and say I must admit it looks really good.
I think people are gonna be stunting. A lot of people are gonna get it to stun anyway.
They're not gonna be really using it. They'll use it a month, 2 maybe, and put it away.
There's an enormous piece of glass, which, yes, is very easy to fingerprint and smudge. And then behind that thing, there's this outward-facing OLED display and a bunch of sensors all the way around, outside-facing sensors that go forward, sideways, and straight down. And there's depth sensors, infrared illuminators, LiDAR scanners, and just regular old RGB cameras, all being processed by an M2 chip and an R1 chip inside this thing. And then maybe the craziest part, inside the headset, there are a bunch more sensors facing your eyes, tracking your eyes in real time for all the eye control and everything that comes with that, and also then to display a representation of your eyes on the outside of the headset. Kinda, we'll get there. But overall, when you put it all together, you get a very well-made, very high-end, but also pretty heavy computer to wear on your face. So officially, this headset with this Solo Knit band, when I weighed it, showed up as 638 grams, which some of you on Twitter have already pointed out is actually slightly less than the plastic MetaQuest Pro. But that Quest Pro also has a lot of battery on the back of your head as a sort of a counterbalance. So the weight distribution is very different. Also, the Quest Pro is not that comfortable anyway. But the point is, this, for Apple, made the choice of taking the battery off of the headset, which means, okay, now there's nothing on the back of your head, so you can wear it and lean up against things, and that might be an upside, but that also now means you have to deal with this cable all the time running up to your head, and the fact that it's very front-weighted now. All of the weight is on the front of your face. So this is the battery, as you saw in the unboxing. If you haven't already seen the unboxing, that just went up. I'll link it below the like button. But this battery is a surprisingly small 3,366 milliamp hours. I say surprisingly small because a normal battery bank of this size, you might expect to be 10, 15, 20,000 milliamp hours. I suspect there's a lot of heat insulation happening here, but it comes with a non-removable 4-foot cable and a proprietary connector at the end of the cable that will twist and lock to the headset. And so the lock is really solid. It makes sense that it's not just straight USB that could get disconnected easily. Once you connect it, it starts glowing and then it starts booting up, and there's even a little Apple logo that displays on the outside screen while it takes, you know, a little under a minute to turn on. So there is no on or off button or switch anywhere on this headset, maybe kind of like AirPods Max or something like that. So if you ever take the headset off and put it down, it will enter a standby mode after some time, but it won't turn off. If you want to turn it off, you literally have to twist and unplug the cable. That's the only way to actually turn the headset off. Now, famously already, the
Let's get far off to what it
focus
do.
modes and screen recording and pairing to a Mac. But the other big quirk is text input. So you might be wondering, how does text input work with no physical controllers? So there's basically...
Anybody here want this shit?
I'm gonna tell you right now, for me, no, 100% no.
Damn.
For what I saw initially and what they were, I guess what they're promoting it is as, it's like, it's, to me, it's not worth it. It doesn't come with any hand tracking, so no hand device. It's not really made for gaming or anything. So it's really just an extension VR screen that you can plug into your MacBook or your Mac computers or desktops,
Mhm.
and you have a virtual display. Whatever you want to display on your MacBook, you can display on your virtual headset. And I'm like, for $3,000, that's a little steep to me. But I do think it's gonna sell. Like I said, I think they're gonna stunt. People are gonna stunt. It's gonna be like the new biggest thing. It's like an Apple Watch, and people are gonna be stunting with it. So I do think it's gonna sell, but it's just not worth it in my opinion.
I think
They-
Carrotus want it.
Oh. They can keep their Mac and trash crap. Yeah.
it shows a little bit of your eyes poking through the purple and blue glow. It's, as you can see, it's all working, but also I think it looks nothing like the eyes from the ad. So in an effort to make the eyes as presentable as possible, two things. First of all, this screen is actually behind a lenticular film, which I didn't even realize that from the initial media they've published. But if you've ever heard of that, it's sort of what gives it like this 3D depth. You might have seen this on other like
This is a whole bunch of techie ass shit. Damn. Let's go to Slip Thug using this shit. Maybe he'll give a.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. I'm gonna be everywhere with them hoes. How you take it up over here? Yeah, I'm be at the gym. You're not gonna be at the gym.
Not with that.
Why do you feel that way?
What is he
Man,
doing?
when I say this shit is so fucking crazy, man. This shit so player. I can't believe this shit. This shit crazy, man. I got OnlyFans on right now. This bitch like 6 foot. I can see this whole pimples. This shit is about to get my lotion. You know how
It's
you
up
used
to
to take
get
a
my lotion.
panoramic pic and it just be a straight pic? Now this motherfucker, like, you can see the whole shit around you. It's that big of a picture right there. Up, down, all that.
I said it's people gonna stunt. I think Apple is making a product that they can sell because people are gonna stunt with it. But is it an actual better device than any of the other VR headsets? Like, it's not really doing anything. And actually, in my opinion, doing less. It's just, hey, it's an Apple product. It's only going to work with Apple products. And if you want to be into the class of elites, you get Apple products.
Yeah, I don't know. $3,000, maybe for 1,000, I'd have checked it out.
Little rich
I
for my
wouldn't even
blood.
pay $3,000. I wouldn't pay 1,000 for it.
I got like 350.
Yeah.
I bet you it sells. I
Oh,
bet
I think it will.
it's, yeah, people are going to stunt with it.
Fuck that.